Okay, so let's go over here. So it shows. Okay, hang on now. God damn it. I think I have to go to studio. Oh shit.
Plenty of time.
Hang on. Oh fuck, hang on. I'm not positive what to do here. Do I do Oh fuck. I'm not sure what to do. I think I have to do go live. I'm not positive though to tell you. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Holy shit. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure what to do.
Just describe my life. Beautiful.
Okay, so it's fuck me. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Okay, so let me. I think we're okay. I'm not positive though. That's a good sign. Oh yes, we're good. Okay, good. Okay, so let me post the link. Jesus, that's nerve wracking. I actually knew what the fuck I was doing. Okay, we should be good. Okay, let's do a mic check. What is Bitcoin doing? Oh shit, I don't have the market open. Oh, he's 266 in the NQ. Okay, are we working? I'm not sure. 29. No, I don't think it's live yet. I hope that worked. Yes, it did. Oh, Art Vandelay. Oh, good. Art, we're like fingers crossed. Did it work? Did it work this time? I think we're good. Sound is good. Okay, that's good. So we have the right mics. Cameras are on. You should have.
What's up, Art?
Yeah, we're good. Should be good so far. Okay, so that means let's see. So now I go over here and I can see the chart over here. Okay, we're good. All right, all good. All right, so this should be an interesting pop. There's Russell. Hey, I'm in. How's it going, man? All right. I love these days when Skeff is driving. I get to chillax. Well, so wouldn't be shocked if we go straight down to the open.
Yeah, the boss is already tilting in that direction.
Right. We got to get all the week longs. All the Yahoos are going to like, oh, CPI inflation's down. We're going to buy it.
Yeah.
One thing I'd be shocked if we launched straight up. But I'm shocked all the time.
It's true. And she's open, believe it or not. That's sleepy.
There we go. Oh shit! Hang on. I gotta kill that. Hang on.
Sleepy. Renko's coming alive to the upside. Boss is coming alive a little bit. We're in a chop zone.
Even that's going to be too much. That should be a low enough level here. All right, so what are you watching? You're watching NQ.
I'm on NQ. Yep, there it solid goes. All day.
There we go. You're on a 90.
Called it, Sam. The McGinley's red.
Yeah. All right, guys. Everybody good? Okay. Yeah, we're good. All right, all good. All right, Skeff, I'll hand it off to you. So I guess this is great. See, I get to just kind of chillax. I love this. All right, guys. All right, turning it over. Hey, Jeff Thompson, Skeff in the house. All right, man, it's all you.
Right on. Hey, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're logging in from. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully everything looks great, sounds great. So we know we're in contract rollover week and a Fed week and lots of reports, lots of things going on. Let me give you a quick visual, depending on how you trade. That top line right there is the September daily volumes on the September contract, and then, of course, June right down below. So you can see there is a disparity. We'd like to have them all ultimately, right? But here we go. And the boss is showing downside. What I've been doing lately is I've been combining the boss with other entries like the Renko. I'm going to sit this one out. I learned my lesson yesterday. And while illiquid and we're in contract rollover week, things can turn on you really quick. Like that looked like a really good time to get in short. Still might be, but my stop would be at like 15.08-9, and it's already, price is already pulling back and challenging that. So I'm going to give a few minutes here to let things settle down. And that might be a good idea all the way around. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am a trade devil through and through. A couple of years ago, went shopping for an indicator just to do support and resistance. I mean, I needed some help. I wanted to save some time every morning because I was trading like 4 instruments and having to do support resistance level on everything every day. I found the multi-time frame support and resistance level on the website, which I had not known about before. Hey, let's get a look at this right here. The boss may be going through some changes. This is the layout I call the boss, because if I had a boss, he'd be telling me what to do. And if you look at the screen right there, right now, while we're in kind of an indecision area, for the majority are cumulative biases to the downside. At any rate, I found my multi-time frame support and resistance level, liked it so much, went shopping again on the website and ended up owning a pile of some of the best indicators I've ever had. And Sam's heard this ad nauseum. I got the best, even though a lot of what you guys see me do by comparison to Sam is like NASA compared to what I do in terms of indicators. And it's a Sam and Irwin team, massive technology, great code, snappy responses. What I do is I just get in, and on the seat of my pants, I'm a pretty loose scalper. I do not like exposure time. So it's like looking at the same stuff, maybe indicator wise, but through a different set of eyes and maybe a different approach. My approach is extremely short holds. Last week's average hold time was 48 seconds. I wouldn't say that's going to happen this week, because the way I trade is I trade momentum directional stuff. Sam is making a convert out of me with the measured move indicator. Ooh, look what we got here. The boss is going a little bit to the green side. And Renko is obviously, I like Renko 25.5 as almost a standalone setting as opposed to changing. But we are getting kind of high in the recommended Renko settings. So I'm going to look at ticks. What you got right there is a tick chart with the TMA scalper bands on it. Simple. Let me just run through what I got. The ever-present footprint. This right here is the best footprint on the market, period. I've been trading footprints for years. This is my Bible. There's my Renko at 25.5. I take a lot of entry signals with a little indicator that I developed down the bottom there. We'll talk more about that later if you want to. Then ticks right here, which is just 987 is what I trade on the NASDAQ, because the 987 seems to go hand in hand. If you look at that chart right there, you'll see it. You look at the chart right here, you'll see, of course, that was reports, but you look at the chart here, you see a little bit of upside pressure. Stoke, old-fashioned lagging indicator, stochastic. I still use it. And here's the boss. Boss showing me upside. I'm not going to ignore it. Now, what I do is I drop in with a 12-handle stop. This could hurt. A 12-handle stop. It's only an initial setting, and I have a 15-handle profit target. Let me get over to my footprint chart. I need it. There we go. Footprints are showing green delta with an increase to commitment of traders. So maybe this will go. Only have, well, we're a little bit red, but we're down about a handle. Back and forth. We'll give it some time. Again, I am not one who lets stuff languish. If price turns against me, I kill it with impunity. Some I let run, depends on the market. Others I do not. one quick look at the footprint chart right there, you'll see what we're dealing with. We went to a slightly red delta. Commitment of traders is reddening. This will likely be a stop out. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I got a kill here. Yep, there you go. So that was a stop. I'm going to make sure that we have closed. I trade prop accounts, guys. So what I do is, look at this. What did the boss do? The boss did not flip to the red side, so I'm not gonna follow that. Renko can be much earlier than the boss, so we'll see what happens. Last thing I want to do right now in this type of environment, meaning the contract rollover week, is chase my tail inside a range, which is how I opened yesterday. If we look at the opening range from yet another fantastic Trade Devils indicator, the initial balance, that sets our opening range for the first 30 minutes of trade. And here we go. The boss is turning red. Lovely. Footprint. Look at the downside move. Wow. Minus 33% delta. Increase of commitment of traders. Obviously, the cum delta is for the most part red. And guess who called that before the open? That would be your Sam did. Here's the boss. I may set some of these out, guys. I don't want to trade down into VWAP right now, even though the Stoke agrees. So here we go. Renko. Right there. That's an RSI, basically. It's a 7 RSI is what you're looking at. And that would have been a good entry to the downside, even though we had stuff below us. It's okay. It's 9:37. This is typically when I come to the table. After analysis and the pre-market, so on and so forth. And you can see this would have been a cool trade down to VWAP, but I'll let that one go. Let's test the waters before we dive in head first. We want to make sure it's not a shallow pool. Yeah, footprints again. Oh yeah. So generally at the open, I center these charts. That way I don't have to chase them all over God's creation. But I think with this open being the way it is, I'll just uncenter everything, and that way I got control of my charting. The way you do that is you get in the data series and you just click center, or unclick center if you want freedom with the chart, which I now have. And the boss is showing that we are in. What the boss wants us to do is to consider downside. And you know that because everything to the right of my cursor right here is red. I use 2 sets of Devil's bands, one at 1 ATR, one at 2 ATR. And under normal circumstances, when I say normal, what is normal? We never have it. We're day traders. We never have normal circumstances, but your average day with momentum and lots of volumes, I trade this in directional form. As soon as I have a closed candle above the +1 ATR, if it's green, I go long, and then I follow up with a Renko, vice versa for shorts. It's a simple trade plan. Later in the day, in my opinion, the boss, the way I have it set, becomes a little less effective, and I go straight to Renko trading, and I scalp for the rest of the day. That's what I did yesterday. Yesterday got clobbered a couple times at the open. I was a little ambitious. I jumped in, considering it was the first day of the rollover. I jumped in and took 2 consecutive losses and stood up, stretched, took a break, and came back and traded my way right out of the hole into the green. Same trade plan. The beautiful thing about what I'm doing with this trade plan is it works. Even when it lets you down, stay with the trade plan, stay disciplined, stay diligent, stay positive. It comes back. That's made a huge difference in my trading. Lifetime win percentage for me is 67+%. And since I went to rounding the corner into 2023, I'm somewhere near 83%. Now, I don't know if I want to put that out there in the universe, but I just did. And it's largely because of the man who's hosting me here, and Erwin. Also, a shout out to Simon Bobber at Bobber70 on Discord, who has been just invaluable at helping to straighten out issues. He is support for Trade Devils. So here we are. Now, let's come right to the open. 9:30 right here. F7. From there to the right, we're looking at what I like to refer to as the Jamaican flag, and I don't do that disparagingly. That we haven't really held when you're looking at the +2, +1, -1, -2 ATRs, those bands haven't really held any specific color, not to oversimplify it, but that's really how hard it is. So in other words, market's trying to figure out what to do. And we'll look at it one more time. Here's why. There's your September contract at 193,000. There's June at 100. So we kind of live in a divided land right here. So prudence. I'm not reminding you, I'm reminding me that a little more prudence is warranted on a day like today. And now, red McGinley, price pushing to the downside with a red -1 ATR. Do I have an entry on other charts? Well, footprint's kind of neutral. We're in the center of a footprint band. I use TMA scalper bands on footprints. I don't know anybody else that does that. It is kind of odd, quite frankly. I'll show it to you. Here's the bands. This is a Keltner. And when momentum comes up, you can see the disparity in how they read right here. But when momentum comes up, you would love using, if you're using the footprints, slap a TMA scalper bands on there. Pretty impressive. And we're at the top side of the range. Cumulative delta is green. Here we go. And yet the boss is in a chop zone. When we don't have confluent agreement, typically I don't trade. Remember, not taking a position is taking one. So that is an important thing to remember, both for me and for you, I would say. The boss is going to give us an entry here, I think. Footprints just printed a 40% delta with a tail and a surge. Close, baby. All right, here we go again, right? Let's get to the Renko and adjust that stop. The initial stop is big until I slide it. Typically in a momentum-based trade, we follow this sucker right up to 15 handles. And look at it go. Might want to control this and have a look at where we're going. Well, don't know if we're going to hit that 15 handle profit target, but we're going to get something out of this. I can guarantee you. And look at that, 15 handles. Ta-da! It's just that hard. 15 handles. I call them handles. I'm an old cat. You know, handles everything to the left of the decimal point. That was 15 points on the NAS. You see that,
nice
Sam?
one, Skeff. Yeah, no, well done.
That right there, Sam, is my bread and butter these days. Once I went to your Trade Devils and I decided, let me slap a +2 and a -2 ATR on it. The reason I do that is during chop, I might use it as a profit target, or if price comes up above it and closes during something that turns into when stochastics become useless on a trend, like a long last, like yesterday's buy program, I basically let everything run on the top of that the +2 ATR or the -2, and then as soon as it dips its toe in the pull back, I use the 1 ATR is either a re-entry or at times an exit. I noticed you only use the single set of bands. Totally tradable that way, obviously.
I do, right? Because I can just kind of visualize where it is, but I mean, kind of in the same way that you, it's kind of a no trade zone.
Yep. And here we are. Look at that opening range, guys. I mean, there is how you frame the market right now. So if you were to think about it, that's 129, okay? Down to the bottom, 15, 129. So that's 129, and down to the bottom, we have 064. So that's a little bigger than it looks. I mean, if you happen to catch a good one from the downside, let's say we have a VWAP bounce right here. Stokes are to the downside. Let's go over to ticks. There you go. There's your trading range right there. Now, the way I use it on ticks, this is to supplement what you just saw me do. I use the scalper bands as essentially a 2 standard deviation, indication. If you look at this thing, where's our open? Right here. Okay, price comes down, touches the bottom band. Watch what happens. It touches the top band. Price comes down, touches the bottom band with a key level. Watch what happens. Bang, touches the top band. This isn't something, that's not how you trade it, but in the back of my mind, right now, I am less likely to go short than long. Even though the Stokes pointed down, footprint data is actually pushing to support. Let me show it to you real quick. There's my beloved footprint right there. Breaking VWAP. How about that? And the boss is in the red. To take this trade right now, we're below VWAP. This could be a sell program. It's a little early for that. 9:45. Let's get some market context here with the boss. Yeah. We're into a little congestion here. If you look to the left, think about Beyonce. To the left, to the left. There it is right there. So I'll stretch this back out. And as you can see, if I took that trade right there, probably would have been a winner, because I probably would have yanked it out at either the opening session low or the pre-market low. Down she goes. It's okay. It's okay. There's going to be a lot of trades today. It's a long session. And let's see if I can get a tick chart. Bottom of the bands. Less likely to go short here than long. We do have a red McGinley. That's a McGinley line right there. We are below VWAP. I wonder. So we have a potential target here on the measured move at 042. I have fallen in love with this indicator in the last week. And look at it hit it. Look at this. Bang. Stellar indicator, especially when used with the auto fibs, which I leave on the right margin. I'm in the midst of trying to embrace Sam's settings as an expert trader in those two indicators. For now, I'm kind of using a lot of the stock out-of-the-box settings so I can understand how it works before I go breaking the rules with it. But I'll tell you this. I'm a very short-term hold trader. I told you that. And when I get out with, say, 8 handles because the market has stalled and I want to limit my exposure to the market, frequently I have the measured move targets up, and I watch the auto fibs and I watch the measured move, and those targets get hit. Down we go. More downside.
Hey,
Look at the
Skeff, I got to reboot here. I've got data lag.
Go ahead, buddy.
Pretty severely. So I'll be out for a second. I just got to reboot my machine
and
reset my database, but I'll be back in a sec.
Sure. So there's probably the last opportunity of that nature I'm going to let go for the day. I'm going to start clobbering them, get in, and I am risk on at this point. When you sit, ask yourself the question, am I a trader or an observer? There's no wrong answer. And here, the way it pans out, I should have been a trader. It's all right. One of the things I've had to learn coming on in life, it's been 15 years trading, is I never let myself off the hook for anything. It's like I always want to be, 100% of every move, and I want to get 100% of every available trade. You can't. You're an absolute stud if you get 70% of every move like that comes up. I mean, stud. And you won't have to trade long. I trade 20 prop accounts. Right now I'm trading a 10 block because it's a live stream and stuff, can get weird. Especially when you have to talk this much. So think about what 10 accounts will do for you if you just make $200 times 10 a day. $2,000 a day. I never get that working at any of the normal jobs I had, and I had some pretty good jobs in my lifetime. So right now we're experiencing what I mentioned to Sam earlier. When you have a nice long trending move like that, the Stokes become useless. At that point in time, we need something a little bit more robust, and that would be something like the Renko chart with the dual RSI indicator. Where are we with this? I'm getting a long indication. And again, do I want to break the rules and do what the boss is telling me not to do? I'm going to stay with my trade plan. Can be difficult. Like right now, I know there's a nice pullback happening. The pullback is actually heading through these small golden zones and up toward the McKinley, which might be a continuation signal to the downside. And at a time like that, the footprint charts become invaluable. Also, I might call the entry on the Renko. Renko's like an upside. Get ready, boys, girls. This might be a short. The long short story with the bottom panel indicator is that's an RSI and a momentum indicator. They both have to be right about there before I take a trade. And now let's see if we can just rejoin the show that's already in progress. we have our work cut out for us here. 7 handles there, and I may exit manually, or just limit the profit target. You'll notice how fast this is taking the money back. I'm going to leave it there. Another 8, almost 10, down to 5. Yeah, I'm out. This will not take my money. I'm not afraid to take 3 handles, 3.5 handles when I had 9 or 10 in my hand. Look at the targets down the bottom. That is an amazing indicator. And the reason it's amazing is it's going to hit them. I mean, it's like I've tried to watch this thing and prove it wrong. Go like, no way, that's not going to hit. Yeah. All based on what's previously happened in Fibonacci numbers. And then, of course, projections. So that was with the boss. Obviously, the boss, the layout I call the boss, because if I had a boss, this is what it'd be telling me. The boss said go short. I took the retracement up. Didn't hear any break of structure, but I took the retracement to the upside. We got in probably a little late. Otherwise, I would have reaped the benefit of a full win on that one. And here we are doing it again.
2 things, Skeff. Well, one, note there's a fair value gap there, the imbalance in the red candle, right? Yep. Which is just what you're looking for, right? Perfect spot for it. And then you got that little tiny candle, that little almost spinning top. Hey, Steven, or Las Vegas guy, as we know and love him.
Love him.
Question on your TMA bands. Did you turn off the signals? It looked like you did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that I don't say that because I think everybody should. I say that because actually, to me, you can tell I like a lot of data on my charts, and I don't need them. I use them, quite frankly. I use the bands as the 2 standard deviation indicator. They're set shy of it. I believe I have them set at 1.8. Yeah. Last week I started getting into indicator settings, and that's what Crash Ninja. I'm not doing it, but I'm Steven, I'm almost positive they're 1.8 is where I have them set. That way, when I have a break like this one here, it's a pretty handy break. If I miss that, well, then I got my eyes closed, So as it comes up and hits the 1.8 or 2 standard deviation, if you want to think of it that way, I'm ready for reversal. And look what happened, right down the stairs. This, by the way, is a double bottom. And there's a better look at it. Double bot. What's the boss telling me? Boss telling me is the ATR1 is green. I am counting down ticks. We are 300 ticks away from the next candle. But we got a doji right before this open candle. The footprint activity is at the top of its range. Always, have to be careful of that. If we have one that comes up, let's see how much room we've got, really, Sam. I think we're into the VWAP at 0.67, and we're already at 0.5. This is like a 10-handle trade if I take it. That's it. I'd much rather have a chance at making 15. 150 ticks to go. And if this moves against me, as I pull up the Renko here, if it moves against me handily, I'll kill it. 5, yeah, this is going to be killed. Gone. No, I'm not in. So that thing can go right up to the VWAP. I don't mind. I'm green. And I'm green fairly well. So rather than risk that thing coming down in chop and smacking me around, I will remember you're always just 1 commission away from a reentry. Right there, the trade technically broke its thesis. The way I use the boss is when that breaks out like that, and I know Steven does this actually, he uses a continuation candle. So he would set, like, for instance, a buy stop right there. I'm pretty sure that's how he uses it, Las Vegas guy. I'm risk on. When I'm risk on and that closes above a green 8 positive 1 ATR, I'm in. I'm also discretionary and fast to kill. I don't want anything working against me. And that thesis did break. We have 500 ticks left. One of the reasons why I'm probably going to ignore this trade is the VWAP right there. It also didn't come out of the no trade zone. So there's your no trade zone right there. And we'll have a look at what ticks are doing. Man, there's your price line up top here. I may have a little issue. That's it. Always look for that, guys. If you find that arrow there, you might be in trouble. VWAP. Let's see if we get a VWAP bounce and a rejection, or if VWAP just basically rockets this thing. The rule's a double bottom. Let's go over it real quick. 044 and 017. So we're looking at like roughly 30 handles above 044 if it kicks off, and we've already used most of that. Let's say 30 handles. We'll put 074 as a profit target. Yeah. Good looking double bottom. It's just really not that motivated. Back to the boss. Go to the boss for direction. You know, a good manager, a good boss will give you direction, and look what it's doing. It's telling us long as the bias. Renko agreed. Probably could have taken that Renko trade somewhere around here after the paint filtration. Ooh, look what we're getting here. Is this an opportunity to make some money on a pullback, or are we pulling back to the neckline of the double bottom? That's a wait and see environment. Object here, especially for prop traders, finish green, man. I mean, I have 20 PA accounts. If I drop $100 of profit into my accounts, that is a really good day. I don't. I keep trading well past that. Let's say the average day lately has been about 35 handles. So on the NAS, that's about a $700 day per account. Sure, a lot of you folks out there are trading prop. Never lose sight of the fact that it's a business. It's not a trade. It's a session. It's not a session. It's a day. It's not a day. It's a week. And it's not a week. It's a month. It's not a month. It's a career. Just think of it like career. Take it easy on yourself. Don't be afraid to trade micros either, because micros can make all the difference on the planet. I prefer E-minis. It's just personal preference. I like the way they chart better. When they behave poorly, they will smack you around. Okay, we now have everything is red, and I'm in a short. I don't know if I want to take that. That's late. I'll tell you, Sam, the way things look, the boss is a laggard, and I may go over to trading the Rankos, because the Rankos are just, look at it, just pumping them out. Footprint data.
I'm trying to get back to reset here, but I had to reboot and to reset my database. Something got funky with my stuff, but
that's what happened to me last week. But I reset the database trying to get back online with you, and what happened was the historical data server had gone down after I did the reset.
Yeah,
I had black screens for about an hour.
It's coming back. It's just takes fucking forever. I'll be back in a sec.
That's all right. So the boss is once again telling, wow, look at the stochastic approach there. It's telling us it likes shorts. So I'm going to ticks to find out can I get in? No. How about footprint data to try and get in on a pullback? Doesn't look like it wants to pull back much at all. Renko. There's your pullback right there. The way I enter directionally on Rankos. Ooh, look at that target to the short side. So these are key levels. That was a previous session high. That's why it's demarked in red. That is a previous session close. If this trade is anything other than festooned with momentum, it's probably not going to break those levels. So profit target initially would be 011 if I take it short. And that's what I'm going to do. All right. It's filled. Down we go. It's either going to run or I kill it. How you doing, bud?
Still bad data. I don't know what's wrong. I got data lag. It's bad, which is dangerous, right? So I'm just throwing in some market orders in Sim, and they're way, way off.
Oh man!
And I can look over on Bookmap because that thing's never a problem.
Watch this. We're going to take 5 and get out of
I'm here, but fortunately, one of us has got. Always.
That was a tiny gain there. I got out at 2 because I've got these rock solid levels below me, which, by the way, price is meant to blow through them eventually. But those previous session levels being so close to one another, yeah, that's exactly what I expected right there. And that may be temporary. It might just be a nice pullback and a return to short. Let's see what's going on with the boss. The boss is telling me that's exactly what it is. Got to be careful here because I don't know if this oscillator, while it is a lagging indicator, is going to pull to the upside. And there you go, retesting that level again. That's what, third? You could call that a test, but that's a second retest for real. Look at the ticks. Keep in mind I'm 987. It's what I like. 1597 is also a great way to trade that. We have a measured move target down at 988.50. Man, would I love to do that, but I think we're going to have to pound through these levels here before that becomes a reality. Renko. Yep, you're seeing it. I trade the 25.5 because to me, overall, it's the setting for me, and that's after self-analysis. Where am I comfortable trading that? Do I want to chase settings? Do I want to go to ticks instead of going to a 72? That's crazy. Right now, my dual RSI indicator is saying that we might be in store for some long, and the footprint agrees. That is an entry long, believe it or not. I'm going to hold off. I got to trust the boss. Boss keeps me out of trouble. See what comes. Keep in mind, if I just took that Renko long trade, yeah, it's working, but it's another trade plan. So right now I'm still on the boss trade plan until the day matures a little bit. I typically come away from it at 11, and we're at 10 o'clock right now. So we have the opening range is set. Yep. Just want to make sure it's on and it's with me. What are we looking at here? What we're looking at is either a pullback deep into the up toward the 1 ATR while we're waiting on the second ATR to go red, of course. And I have to decide if I'm a trader or an observer. I am an observer. 2 reasons. We just went yellow. We're in a chop zone for now. McGinley, you can see it right there is yellow. And I don't have a green 1 ATR. I could come right here, and then we have to fight VWAP again at 0.65. So 0.65, if I were to enter here, right, we're looking at a 20 handle move. For me to get 15, generally I like a wider range than that because I still have to get the signal, which means this would have to go green, 1 ATR, and I'd still have to close above the 1 ATR with a continuation candle. And when I say discretionary, that's a perfect example. There, McGinley is green, 1 ATR is green. Now, if the Renko triggers a green trade, I will likely take it. Although, I don't know, measure move's a bit of a concern, right? Measure move likes this as a target at 9 or 8. So we'll watch the boss for a bit. Look at that. Everything's green. Price is dropping like a rock. This goes red. I like confluence, and that indicator at the bottom of that window is definitely an upside indicator. So again, I may switch over to the Renko trade plan where I just take directional entries on Renko. I feel them out with the TMA bands. I feel them out with the potential measure move targets. And I can take it all day long at 5 handles. I have no issue doing that. Short trades, for me, make the world go round. So let's have a watch. 10:03, we're very, very close to the top of the hour. Obviously, it just occurred. Screaming in on the initial balance. Just a few more minutes, 10:30. And let's see what comes. Upside bias briefly into a red McGinley. I'm looking at the footprints on another screen. Here's what you got. You got a little retracement up to the center of that range. That's the Keltner. And now we're pushing upside. Guys, all of this illiquidity and lack of decision making on the behalf of the market is due again to just where we are this week. New contract at 270,000. The old contract still has 137,000 of what we want. I want it all. And when that happens, obviously these types of trades, these momentum trades, are a lot more successful. Everything we got's red. The boss is saying stay short. Now, remember these levels right here. That is a previous session close, so that that can be a trampoline. So we have to watch that. And all this time, look at the golden zone there. Down it comes, golden zone. Wonder what we got here. Still, targets are showing to the downside. Take those off so we're not so cluttered. Charts almost had a touch of the TMA bands on the very top. Tick strikes let me know we're upside. Let's see what the boss is doing about that. The boss is saying, downside. By the way, I use, instead of the 100 ATR, I use 144. Keeps me more honest. And then that's important because my tendency is to scalp like a son of a gun. When I started trading in 08, I was in Forex trading huge positions for, 5-6 pips. That's it. And very, very active as a trader. So I like what this does for me. It doesn't just outline trends like it did here. It keeps me out of trouble. I mean, look at everything to the right of that. Okay, sure. This was a good little trade. Right into the basement, and the basement's a hard floor. I'd actually love to take a bounce to the upside off of that, but after yesterday's buy program, here we are working our way to the downside. Footprint data, always verify with footprint data. Red cumulative delta, lots of it. So here we sit, here we wait. This might be a great time to steal some money out of the market from the Renko system. See if it punches through that hard floor. If it does, you know where we're going, right? Get a little bit bigger here. Right through it. I'll be a son of a gun. That is not a trade I would tempt myself into taking because it's going to get rocky. Those levels. After it blows through, if everybody piles on short, hey, fantastic. But those levels right there are sometimes brutal to get through. And look at it go. Just trying to punch its way down to the measured move extension. Look at that. By far, this indicator makes me giddy because I trust myself more than it still, and yet it keeps showing me the way when I don't take it. Another great example of how Sam and Erwin put this thing together, and it's just like when you develop faith in it, and look at that bounce, just like that. Unreal. During other types of markets, meaning, momentum and volume filled markets, I am far more likely to take a trade like that. But now you can see what happened. It came down, hit those levels, got kind of rejected. It's retracing back up to the -1 ATR, which could be an entry. I'm watching the footprint chart to see if that's a possibility on another screen. And the footprints are still cumulative green. Let me show you real quick. There you go. Whoops, get centered up. So we have, lots of signals and lots of cumulative delta right here. Commitment of traders went green. So I kind of need that to go the other direction for me to get in short. The boss is saying this might be a good retracement. And Renko. Let's go with the Renko entry. Okay, we're going to stay on the Renko chart on this. And I'm ready to hotkey out. 5 in the hand. Not anymore. Very volatile. I need downside. I'm watching the footprint on another screen. We have positive delta building. Wow, it's all over the place. It was positive. Now it's green. Now it's red. Now it's green. When in doubt, call it out. Now remember, I am a scalper. So this isn't one of those, hey, set it and forget it kind of trades where I'll move my profit target and I'll kind of hang on to it. No, I don't want to get beat up. Footprint, not helping. Green cumulative delta. This is going to be a kill. I'm out. This is kind of what I expected today. And again, here's why. 285 versus 143. And look at that. It's probably going to hit that target. You sucker. I don't chase trades. Look at her go. This will settle in just like it did yesterday, and I'll keep grinding away. Still green from the 15 handle win. Look at that. Back to the boss. Boss is saying, what were you thinking, pal? This is the boss looking over your shoulder going, dude, you had a pullback. Well, let's see what we got here for the measured move. Oh, yeah. Target roughly first target 988 and then on down to 83. Still flattened out, drilled into the oversold region. Doesn't mean anything. Price could come and slam to the downside. And look at that. Now, the way this works, my dual RSI is when I cross down, that is a 45 minus, that's an RSI 55 and negative 45. So a couple of hashes, a couple of closes below the 45. Wow, look at that. And that indicates a short. A couple above the green line, which is the 55, that would indicate a long entry. There's too much garbage in the way of this stuff for me to trade it right now. Just gonna give myself a break. Look at this. We hit the let me get rid of all that mission move stuff. We hit the top of the TMA bands here. Pardon me. Down it goes. Came close to the top. Retracement. Down it goes again. And of course we have to do this for torture purposes. There it is. A little more faith. Could have ridden that one out. I hear you, Sam. You're back.
I can't. I don't know what I get my data from Ninja Brokerage, and I can't. There's no trading for me. It's delayed so badly. I mean, I've got both Bookmap and I've opened up TradingView. I don't know, 60 seconds, if not more.
Wow.
The only thing, so it's untradeable for me, unfortunately, until this sorts itself out. The only thing I was going to add is and I kind of referenced this yesterday with some charts I posted. This really is right on schedule. So if you, let's see, I got to share my screen here. Let me, give me a second. Hang on, I got to bring this over here. This should not be surprising to anyone, really, other than, hang on.
This measured move is insane.
I
just can't stop talking about it.
Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen real quick just to make this point here. So this is what I was pointing out yesterday. We haven't had a bearish boss. We got to go back to March, right? Which is really all it was, is they were grabbing the liquidity there, and then they hit that demand zone. And now look, we haven't had a bearish break of structure since March in the NQ, right, on a 4-hour. So you look here every single time, right? And it's just like, not to be silly about it, but every break of structure, right? So here's the last break of structure. So here's equilibrium. We got a nice fat order block there. You're hoping it comes down here, right? If we come down here, what God? I mean, you can't script a better looking order block, right? We've got the consolidation. We've got two fair value gaps here, just imbalance, right? So this is a strong order block. We come back to it. Oh God, yes, please come back. But remember, to start a retracement, right? Clearly, we're in an uptrend, right? On the
I'm in one. I'm ripping 10 out right now.
Whoop, oh, good. Take it. I just make this point. We got to start a downtrend, right? We got to start a downtrend on lower time frames to get to the retracement, right? So you have raging uptrend, but you need a shorter time frame downtrend to get to the retracement zone. So when you now look at that and you say, okay, well, that's kind of what I'm hoping, then you go down to a 15-minute. I'll bring this over here. And look what we got happening here. Now this is one break of structure, right? With two to confirm it here on the higher time frames. So here's the break of structure, the last break of structure. Here's the retrace. What do? Right to an order block. Right. So here they're sweeping the Asian lows, right? So you know what happened there, right? Then we break structure, retrace. Now this will be interesting if we break here, because that would give us another change of character, a break of structure and a change of character, actually. Now we're a little funky, right? Again, because of the rollover. But if we break down here, we've got much lower to go before we get to that 50% zone. I mean, that kicks in at 1480 down here, right? We got a long way to go to get this down. So this pre-market low would be a very interesting test. See if they break that, because that will be substantial to the market. But it's right exactly like, oh God, maybe we'll get a retracement today. As I posted yesterday, geez, I wonder what could do that. Well, CPI, we got the Fed, right? I mean, it's right by the playbook. So it shouldn't be surprising to anyone, other than, I mean, this is what, you want to call them whales, market makers, biffs, whatever, right? I mean, this is what they do, right? So, out comes the report. Oh, very bullish for the market. Fed's definitely going to pause, and everybody piles in long. And then what do the market makers do? They just ass rape them, right? Because they just crush them. They just crush them, right? Because it's all easy money, right? There is no easy money, no easy money in the market. So as soon as you think there's easy money, oh God, get your hands off your mouse, right? Because there is no easy money. So, you don't want to go into it, that mindset. I guarantee you retail just plowed in long off of the CPI. I guarantee it, right? They're all getting their asses handed to them now because they don't have this kind of mechanical or any sort of mechanical, structure that they're working with. It doesn't have to be market structure, just something. Like, oh God, like, I mean, that was so, when it looks like easy money, right? It's not going to be, right? I mean, this was about as predictable as the rain that's scheduled for Austin later today. All right, I can't.
Everywhere else.
My lag is, so I've got the NQ up on TradingView. It's showing me that we're at 1476. Here's what I've got, 1507. That's how bad my lag is.
Wow.
And I don't. It's fucking ninja, right? I don't know how much I can do. So, all right. I mean, I just thought I'd make that point here that this retracement is exactly not only what you were hoping for, but what you were anticipating, right? Off of the break of structure. What's next, right? Retrace. So, I'm going to hand it back to you and to show them that win you just.
Oh, that one's already over. This one's breaking thesis.
All right, you're back on.
Sucks. Yeah. And watching the footprint data just went, wow. This is nasty stuff. Just saw like a 10 handle swing and a couple of ticks. But look at her go. I'm going to slide that stop down and protect myself. Even though most recent significant highs right there, but there's our target right there, Sam, to the downside. I may not sit through all of it. It's likely I won't. If you look at the volatility there, wow. Okay, bottom of the footprint range, and I'm staring at two support levels at 963, 960. So this is probably not going to fly. I'm going to get out with a small gain if I can do it. Come on, baby. Down you go a little bit. Nope. Tick strike went silent. We know where the target is, right? Trying to develop the faith. We have to break through some resistance to get there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something what I would consider to be reasonable. Oh, man. Reasonable would have been getting out of that early. And it's starting to look like it wants to break thesis. I'm going to tighten the stop. That's going to be a stop out. Letting it play out. Letting it play out. You got to let the market take you out. There are times I don't. That thesis is broken. I got to go. Watching the footprints to see if for any reason we have a miraculous downside turn here, but delta's green. There you go. That was 7 3/4, and still green. Believe it or not, not by much though. So I'm in there trying to grind it out, and make it happen, and taking signals based on the boss. See, the boss is short. This would be a good time to consider: is this thing gonna pop through and either go into a chop zone or reverse directions? Because downside's been difficult. You can see it's choppy here, but if you had it in on a small position, maybe just a paper cut position like micros, it would have been to just leave the stop wide open and let it rip. Chop zone has developed here, so let's look at ticks. Ticks way up here. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a good look at the overall bias. Here's your 30-minute chart right there with the market structure on it. Stochastic coming out of being sort of oversold. I'm also looking at the 15 on the other side, which in 10 minutes, if it closes the way it is now, we have like a tweezer bottom. So that would be upside, but it's not closed. Here's a 5-minute chart on what you're seeing right now. Hey, look at that. Tweezers in 7 seconds. We're looking for longs, believe it or not. I'm going to go on the hunt and be patient for a long on the boss. And look at that. Boss went green. Could be a tough one. You're well, let's see. We're counting down ticks. If you look where my cursor is right now, you see the tick countdown. That's in Ninja. Helps you plan when you're going to get in or not. But I'm trading straight into previous session close. That can be a bitch. That's the way it is. You're either a trader or you're not. That's the decision you make when you sit. Currently, I'm an observer. That closed under the +1 ATR, so I'm not in. And now we wait. You can see the countdown continues right there. 7:30, 7:20, 7:10. That is not a fast moving countdown. I like it when it's taking them out in 50s, hundreds, 150 ticks. That means transactionally, because tick candles are transactional. Transactionally, when things are on fire, when that thing is counting down quickly, it's a better trade. 160, 100. I'll stay with it. All right. What I'm going to do now is go to Renko. This is my common thing. I go to the Renko and I use the calculations that were built into this by my friends at Trade Devils to slide my stop. And there's 6 in the hand. Here we go there. We now have 7. We're up into resistance. I may want to get out of that. And that Alt-M has to be hit. 9 handles. 9. Do I take it? Oof, down to 5. 2. Yeah, we have serious illiquidity. I am gonna get out of here. If we get a pump, I have a green footprint. 1. Nah, I'll take that. I don't know what that was, but I don't like the look of that candle. And I looked over, saw a red footprint. So that was a win. Let's have a look at executions, and I'll figure out what that put in the coffers there. It wasn't huge. 6. So that was 6 handles. 24 ticks if you're tick counter. There we go. There's the trade in the boss itself, right up to, guess what? +2 ATR. Now, if it breaks that and goes over the top, and I showed you the 5-minute, there you go, just did it. The 5-minute tweezer bottom is a great little candlestick pattern to let you know that you've got some upside well in advance of it happening. And that's exactly what I did. Let me show you again. 5-minute chart. That's what you're looking at. Look at that tweezer bottom right there. It's beautiful. Stoke comes down. It's kind of oversold. Hasn't even turned up yet. And you end up with a downside trend ending in a red candle, which went to a key level and then got rejected. Either that or people just took profit on the short. And then the next candle's a green one with the same rejection, same attempt to the same level with a rejection upside. Boink, you're going to get some upside buy pressure. It may not last for ages, but it was worth that trade right there. At one point, I could have got out with over 9, I think. I think because I have the greatest traders in amnesia ever. When I have a bad day, I literally can't remember it after work. And to be honest, it doesn't really happen all that often. There have been days my girlfriend popped into the room one day and said, "How's it going?" I said, "Yeah, I think I'm in the red." I don't really look at P&L. I look at handles. How many handles have I? I can kind of keep track of that as the day goes on. And I didn't realize that because I scalped so hard that day, I was up. I can't believe this, but I was up 74 handles. I immediately shut the computer off, logged out of all the prop accounts, and just went and had a beer. So the boss right now is all green. Price is all red. This can be good if it stays green. So over to Renko, you can see the downside. That's a pullback. We have key level here and here, which is kind of, man, we've had to trade through that on the way down, and it got bumped here, right? That's previous session close, previous session high. If this turns to the upside and gives me 2 signals above the 55 RSI, I will take that on the Renko. But for now, and others, price action traders would simply enter on the McGinley right there. I know lots of people who trade the bounce. This is green. They trade the bounce right off the McGinley. So while I'm waiting to make money, they're making money. What's keeping me from doing that is that level right there. Previous session close. That's all. I just want to see some verification on, the footprint chart here that we're gonna push to the upside. Right now we have cumulative delta, but it's not all that. No, I go to say that, and this one might be the one. 30% with an increase in cum. Yeah. Let's see what happens. If you're watching that indicator on the bottom panel, it is in no man's land right now. And that's because of those key levels. If this should pop through, it's going to pop through quick. There's one. My momentum indicator, which is this little white dot right here, is look at this right here. That's where momentum is. I need that above its own zero line to take a trade. It's a sort of a filter. So if momentum isn't above zero, why would I be taking a momentum trade? But for now, this is my focus. Quick look at the boss. And the boss on the 2 ATR went into the chop zone. I'm in a no trade zone right here. That's what that red bar is between where I'm at now and where I'm at here. We're retracing back down to the McGinley. If we get a long signal, I have to have a couple of closed RSIs over the RSI, the 55, which is the green dotted line on that panel. And momentum has to be over the zero line, which is right there. Look at the momentum reading on the left margin, right over here. -2, -2. That needs to be above zero. Right now we have what is a collective mess until it isn't. This may be, consolidating a little bit to give us a pop. As it stands, looks like we're getting redder based on that indicator. Let's look at the boss. My boss is telling me that we are green. Stochastic doesn't like that idea. I like everybody to agree. When I like think of it as taking a trade by committee. When all the indicators agree and you have confluence, then take the damn trade. We do have a brand new candle here. Okay, counting down from 987. We're in the no trade zone, yet there's an indication we might be going long. A bit of a risky trade here. If we now have a positive momentum, waiting for a positive RSI. Simple pedestrian indicators, right? Yes, the guy's working with a stochastic and an RSI. Holy cow. Yeah, but there's a lot of space age stuff going on other screens here too. And I am a devotee of this company. Never had a better tool belt ever. So, and I don't really throw compliments around all that much. It's a Skeffington trait, but I will tell you this, what's going on in my tool belt, it helps bolster confidence, helps keep you out of the red, helps keeping you have to trade from out of the red. And even though I'm good at it, I don't want to do it. So here we are in the chop zone. Boss is saying everything's yellow. So what do? We hang out. Drill into something tighter, more fast acting, and see what's happening. How about this? We'll go back to that 5-minute chart. What's happening there? Stokes says oversold. We haven't even begun to see the upside. If that pops out of there, we may see a 50% retracement based on the market structure indicator to 057 or VWAP, wherever that ends up. I'll take that 052 from where we are right now. We're not even at an even 15,000. So let's go back. And we wait. You can see things have calmed down dramatically in terms of it's still illiquid and choppy, but I have a little bit more faith than I did even just a few minutes ago that when we get into a trade, it may hold. So far, you guys have seen me kill several trades at like 3 handles. I have to do that. I have to do that because I'm not willing to stay out there and put money at risk. Okay, hold on. What do we got going on? Downside. And I've got my signal. So I'm going to wait for the boss to tell me what to do. The Renko, if I were trading my Renko trade plan, fired down. Excuse me, guys. Patience. Remember that 5-minute time-based chart showed upside. Let's look at it again because nothing, earth-shattering is happening right here. Tweezer bottom, an attempt at key levels, a failure. And then let's see what happens in here. I don't look at a lot of time-based charting, but I do for this specific purpose. Sometimes tick charts, they're all over the place because the market's all over the place transactionally. What do I mean by transactional? Well, a tick chart is based on transactions. You bring a contract across the table, it's a tick. You bring 1,000 contracts across the table, it's a tick. If you're slamming through ticks left and right, the market has momentum. Here we go. And my boss says I am still short. It's a retracement to the McGinley. Who do you believe? Well, wait and see. Another look at the Renko. Renko's in no man's land. I call that the Merc right there. And we may, we may pull back a little further and then go long. Who knows? There's no guarantee of anything. All we're doing is trying to trade the probability that we're shown. And there's 1, 2, 3. That is my key to go long. Watching the footprint's printing red delta, red cumulative delta, and the commitment of traders is increasing to the downside. Okay, what just happened? I held off on entering a trade because of this beautiful beast. Look at that. Just the best. I can tell you what all these are. You guys probably trading footprints, you already know. I'll rip through one. Scattered imbalances, delta closing at its lowest. That one there's reversal imbalances, stacked imbalances, exhaustion print, and volume sequencing. You think I'm going long there? Maybe, maybe not. My boss is saying short, and it hasn't given me a short signal yet. I know where the targets are based on the measured move. So, Renko. Oof, that's already short. So, hopefully we didn't miss that train. And 400 ticks to go before a close candle. 360, 350, 300, counting down into that. Remember, time-based charts say we could be going long. And that 80, 70. Ooh, if I have to go short, it's going to be hard for me to do, guys. 20 ticks, 15 ticks, 10 ticks. Nope. Brand new candle. So the boss right there kept me out of a short. And look what's happening. Got to break the -1 ATR for me to get in. I have to. That's my rule. And while I am a discretionary trader, meaning I reserve the right to change my stops, my profit targets, or to hotkey out of something, it's all based on decision, not by stubbornness. I don't say, well, this has to make me 15 handles and I have to use an 8-handle stop. It's not about that. Initial levels when I drop in are what they are. Renko. Is the Renko showing long? It sure is. Look at that. Boy, that's tempting. Kind of missed the signal. The signal was here. Hey, look where we are price-wise. Let's look at the boss again. Previous session close, I think, right there. If I'm not mistaken, that's orange. Sometimes I have trouble with colors, but I believe that's orange right there. Stochastics coming up. Ticks. Ooh, baby. Would I be chasing? You bet. So we'll use the boss. Pardon me. Key level and 1 ATR all in the same area code. Wow. Here comes the question. Am I a trader or am I an observer? Well, I am typically risk on. 8 to go. 800 ticks to go. 700. We don't have a green ATR 1 ATR. Stokes are pointed upside. Footprints want upside. Cumulative delta is very green. This candle has 20% right now with I am going long. Now, here's a key with these trades, the way I take them. If I don't have to adjust my stop quickly and on a regular basis, it's not going to work. These are short-term holds that I take. And right now it's slowing up. I'm watching the footprint. Red. Last candle was a big increase. It was a 21% increase in delta from the candle prior, plus commitment of traders was up 136. So that facilitated the entry. If you're wondering where the entry, why did he enter there? I'm afraid to take my eye off the ball here, but let me show you why. Ninja. There, that candle right there. And now we're coming back down. Yep, I'm going to hang with this. Oof, prices all over the place. As a momentum-based guy, momentum-based trader, I don't like price going, cutting a trade in half with a tick. That gives you, it doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy. and 9 handles, 10 handles. I may get out of this by hand. Footprint chart is good. Hit it. That's mine. I'm taking 12 handles and running on that one. If it's probably going to hit the TMA band. Now, every time I get out, it just goes to, Star Wars. Let's hit VWAP now, right? But, when you get a chance to take 13 and you're in it for 15, grab the 13, get the hell out, go to safety. That's what happened there. Now, what did we just do? Using time-based charts, I stalked along before the boss even showed that it was, before the boss even showed it was green. For those of you who like to trade multiple positions, and I do recommend that heavily, especially if you're trading micros, you'd still be in this with the remainder of your second position. And look what it hit. I just love this indicator, Sam. I'm just like, it's like being a kid in a candy store. So there's the target. It clobbered that. I was already out. Bang. I got to say thank you over and over again for turning me on to that indicator. It was one day I was on with Sam. I think it was our first live stream, and I went green. I had like $300 per account. I was trading at 10 blocks. It was a $3,000 day. And my first day missing with the measured move, I ended up doubling my P&L. Jeez, where have I been? All right, so let's regroup real quick. I'm going to go back to that 5-minute candle, and look at that. Tweezer bottom ends up with an upside move. Also, I want to check the 15-minute chart, which is you can't really see that. 15-minute tweezer bottom. Nice. The boss says stay green. Renko, of course, has pulled back. Woof. If I stay green right here, I got to trade into lots of resistance and then VWAP. Can still be done. I've done it once today already, right? Guys, I apologize. I'm not monitoring questions or anything like that because as a scalper, I'm a hotkey guy. I'm all over the keyboard.
I'm watching for you. I'm just rebooting again. I think I may be back to real time. It'd be nice, right? I've essentially missed the whole morning.
That's what happened to me with you last week. Same deal. It wasn't based on lag though. It was their historical data server went down, and then I had deleted the database and then tried to reload the history.
Well, it can't be just me, right? I'm sure people are ninja people, brokers, clients are raising holy hell.
Go to the boss. Boss is still green. Oh man, if that breaks out of there, if I get a high, if I see 15,037, 037 and a quarter, that's going to run. All right, let's see if it does run. I got to go to the Renko and adjust to stop. Nope, I don't, and that's a concern. That is a concern. So footprint candle just went red. I am not going to give up lots of profit by trading into resistance. Discretionary means be able to kill it unless all of a sudden buyers come out of nowhere on the footprint and start driving this thing to the ceiling. I'm only going to give it a few red. So we're at minus 2, -1 right now. It's got very limited opportunity to pop through. And I know Sam and Erwin both are not into this kind of trade. These kind of breakouts are, first off, it takes a special personality type. You got to be a little bit insane, but you have to be able to compile data like lightning fast, and that includes footprint data. Look where the footprint is at right now. That doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy. Neither is Ninja right now by screwing with me. So I will hotkey out of this real quick. It's not going to go. Watching the footprint. Cumulative delta just went a little bit red. Give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. Times like this, you can also just drag your stop right to there's the midline on the TMA, TMA bands. You can do that. Footprint data is driving the bus. Sorry guys, I don't want to take the Renko off here because I might have to make a decision really quick. 2 in the hand, which is nothing, and I'm not adjusting the stop. What that means is we're not running. So I'm out right about here. Now, I believe in giving a trade a shot. When that broke the previous high, I gave it a shot to see if it was going to break out to this level here. And you can see the discretionary exit saved me some pain. Now I don't look at P&L, but I'm about to. Hey, I got a freaking good day going. One of the reasons I don't look at P&L is because it keeps me working. Like it keeps me focused on in this case on the boss and what my boss is telling me to do. And then every now and then, when we get close toward the end of what I call the session, 9:30 to 11 is the session in which I trade this indicator suite. So I'm close to the end of this session. I'll let myself have a peek. And if I am green enough, I'm done. I don't continue to trade, especially if I have to trade long into look at what these beautiful indicators are telling me. I mean, it's the Renko's saying, "Hey, dude, short. We got some short bias. You were long." And then I have a range of support of resistance here. Excuse me, guys. Then the TMA band top, then another resistant level, then VWAP. Not to mention, I've got to take out other stuff to get there. So if I'm green carrying $300 in profit, while that's not a huge day by any stretch of the imagination, it's 10:40 in the morning and I have 10 accounts. So in thinking of it as a multiple store owner, like I own 10 stores and I call them up at 10:30, how's the till? Don't get me wrong, in retail you don't have the ability to just close your doors at 10:30, 10:40 in the morning, but I do. And that is typically what I do. The boss is green. Love it. You know why? The Renko is not. I might get one more rip out of this before 11 o'clock when I will ease off using the boss and take a little breather. Green candle. We have green footprint data. Watch this. 24% increase in delta here. This candle is following suit. Renko will probably show me along. There's one. I have one RSI. Two. Not
Hey,
like
Jeff,
in the.
I
Go ahead,
got a question from LVG. He's saying, are you triggering your PA account?
Yes.
I'm assuming your PA. What's his PA account? Your
it's Apex. I have 10.
Oh, your Apex
now,
account. Okay,
yeah, I'm
your
trading
Apex
10.
account using the NT cash account instead of the SIM account, as you mentioned last week. His question.
Correct. Yeah, I was triggering via SIM for a long time because the fills were okay, but as soon as we got near market contract rollover, they were not. I checked because I don't check actual cash P&L. After a couple of hours of trading, literally my SIM had twice as much profit as my Apex accounts. And that's because obviously, you're trading a SIM, you're getting perfect fills 100% of the time, and that's not real. However, the upside of that is you got no skin in the game. I mean, nothing. You're literally risking next to nothing. I had enough money in that account to cover my data fees. That was it. But now I'm triggering live cash because in this market, that's what we need. And by the way, yesterday, as sketchy as it was, I only had one bad fill on the prop firm. The prop firm was spot on with the executions on Ninja. Sorry, Sam, not to rub that in, but it was right on point. I don't know if Las Vegas guys are trading prop or not, but I looked at some of his work yesterday, and I don't want to make any what would the word be? Any observations that aren't true or based on being a dum-dum. But it looks to me, Sam, like he's spent a lot of time watching you trade. He killed it yesterday.
Oh, that's good to hear.
He did.
Yeah, I know he does well. We got a pretty good group of here that are doing very well. Oh, I'm still lagging. God damn it. I haven't had this with Ninja Brokerage in a long time.
You know what used to happen to me was when I loaded up a bunch of stuff with a lot of beautiful third-party vendor indicators. I had I had a standard internet connection, and I had the local company come put in a business. I'm a gig down and like 40 up.
Yeah, I have as fast as they can give me.
No kidding.
There's nothing faster. This is just very odd. I'm just assuming it's something to do with the heavy volume, the rollover. So I just have.
Yep. Sure.
I haven't had this problem for years, right? But I used to have this problem on a regular basis. It was really fun.
I'll tell you guys, audience included, I typically don't trade rollover week at all. I'll trade the Monday, sometimes Tuesday morning and I'm out, but that's it. It gets weird. Things just get weird.
Yeah, very much.
We got the positive indication here. I've got footprint data supporting a long. Oof, this could be a risky long here. What's my boss telling me? Boss is telling me take a long, stupid. Looking at that Renko's, that's a tough long to take. Even for me. Yeah.
Well, but of course they could run the liquidity up there, right?
Yep.
You got a zone there which is ripe for it. There's a bunch of stops up there, stops up at VWAP. It looks like that might be what they're after.
Yep. Hey, let's do this. Let's go to ticks and have a look at the market structure. Oh yeah, look at Sam. You crushed it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Right, a little divergence here. You kind of want to see a wick go up there and grab the liquidity just to get a little sense of confirmation. Oh, I can see the move here. So always the question is, all right, where are the stops? Right, where's or said differently, where's the liquidity? Right, and it is we've been kind of harping on this again, not original, but I heard it. And you've been using it a lot. If you can't spot the liquidity, you are the liquidity.
Like it.
Right.
Like it.
Yeah, I wish I could claim that was.
I
can't remember the guy's name who said it. It's like Ghost or I can't remember the guy's name.
Freaking brilliant.
But he's absolutely right. So you got to be constantly looking. All right, where's the liquidity? Because that's what the market's doing, moving to liquidity.
Pulling back down to a key level. This could be a good bounce.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we got a wide range here, but interesting that even the NQ in this volatility is now contained inside of its IB.
Yeah. Sam, do you have stats? I know that your IB stats, the 90% failure of the first IB test, and I love that on the S&P. Do you have stats on the NQ? Because it's got to be far less.
It's less on the NQ. No, I mean it's situated. You got to be watching as it approaches. You got to see the right things. It's not every day. Some days they just blow right through it. But you can kind of see when they do it, right? They'll lead into it. Huge delta. You can see it coming. It's the days where we're kind of rotational and it comes up and it kind of, there's almost always going to be buyers there looking for the breakout, right? So that's what you're looking for, is right. You can, and with a footprint, you really spot the trap traders. You get this, they're like a huge block of them all just went long, and then it starts to reverse. They're going to cover, and that'll get your 5 ticks on your scalps, and then maybe get a runner.
Yep.
But it's the advantage of ES and YM is you can use the tick with it as well. So if you can catch an IB with ticks at an extreme, it's almost a layup.
This is one of those setups, Sam, right here. It's like, man, I know. I got resist.
God, that's just begging for liquidity to be grabbed there. Now let's see if they hold it.
Resistance 042, resistance 050, and then VWAP. It's just
you have a 25.5, right? I'm watching it on
yeah. Yeah, but I'm over on another screen. I
don't have Renko. I'm watching a 1350, which
gotcha.
it's just a little bit bigger than the one you use.
Well, look what we got there.
I'm 34. Jesus. Well, I'm only 5 points off.
Wow.
5
points?
5 points. Yeah. I'm because I can see the real time both in Bookmap as well as TradingView.
Gotcha.
It's 40. I'm at well, now we're catching up. Oh, it's actually getting close. So I'm 42. It's at 45. I'm at 43.
I'm going to sit on my hands here, man. In a different week with momentum and just more follow through, I probably would have messed with this and just been really, really tight on the stop. But I cannot take this trade. I just can't do it.
It's right. It's always another one coming.
Yep.
If anything, you get a little retrace, then you go into that zone with house money, right?
And look at guys, I can't say this often enough because it's my therapy. Let yourself off the hook. for every good decision.
Well, so
You
there's
know?
that. That's you actually have a break of structure there. So that's actually good news. Now break of structure. Well, at least on 1350. Well, you can see it on 9. You get a break of structure there. So a little retrace. You've got what do you got? You'd have a flip zone as well as a fair value gap there, and then a 50 and a golden zone, right? So you got some
Yep.
things to work with there if it comes back a little bit, which looks like it might.
Let's try it.
Let's see, so 39. 30, oh, I'm closer to. I'm almost caught up now.
Hey,
Maybe I'm having to just throw in market orders in sim just to see what the lag is.
jeez.
I know it's a pain.
Not to ask what I already know the answer to, but it's on the right contract, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, that was the first thing I checked.
I've done that.
So am I put in size and didn't realize I was lagging. And you put the trade on, you're down $400. And there's nothing you can do. It's too late.
Nope.
Nothing you can do.
I got a mistake rule. I don't know if it applies in that particular case, but when mistakes happen, and sometimes they do, I don't trade out of them ever. I kill my mistakes.
Oh yeah. As soon as I see it, I just go out. Right.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't apply to that one because that's even though it is what it is, there might still be a trade there. With me, like I make a mistake, I accidentally hit the mouse, bang. I had my dog take a trade once. That was phenomenal. I had one of the shittiest days going like of the entire summer. This is years ago. My dog had a German short-haired pointer, and she's a love. She came up and rested her hand on her chin on my hand and took a trade. and Sam, it was the best trade I took all day.
Oh,
I was like, well, thank you. Look at the boss. The boss is showing us, hey man, and look at the angles of the devil bands. I mean, it's obviously they're up on like a 30-degree angle. However, we're trading square into VWAP, which we do have a target.
Right. So what do we do there? Well, you got a nice little 5-waver up there. A little leading diag off the low.
Yeah. Stokes even agree. They're like, yeah,
boy,
man.
that's thick with resistance right there. There's order blocks for there. I mean, there's a lot there. So not that it can't get through, but it's going to take some muscle to get through there.
And with this, the volume is being divided between two contracts. I'm like, no, 369 versus 180.
It's not ideal with that mismatch. It's better once June rolls off completely.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I don't know what day they finally kill it.
Thursday. Well, I don't know if they kill it Thursday, but I think Thursday's final day of the rollover per CME.
Oh.
I don't know if that means it's like
what is today? Oh, Tuesday, right? Okay, you're probably right.
So we're getting I don't know if you're showing a squeeze, Sam. Nope, probably not anymore.
Yeah, I am on a 1350. Yeah, I am.
And there it goes.
But we're out of the squeeze, and the McGinley's leading, right? So looks like I've got a couple here just to see if it was real time. It looks like that's going to go.
And we're tapping a supply zone.
There's 38 ticks. 30. Yeah, we just tapped it. You hit, there's a little fair value gap there on the 13, right?
Yep.
So, but you had a shallow pullback. You wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be a shame if it came back a little bit.
Here,
9, something like that.
Yeah, what to the internal low? That one?
Yeah, it's something. Even a little that would be good, right? Because you get a little change of character. You want that to. There's an order. Yeah, well, you see the order block right there. We come back to that. You're also at. That's the POC there. I think your colors are different than mine. Yeah, you got a POC there, right? That would be ideal spot for it.
Sure would. You know what? I'd take it right here. To be honest.
Yeah,
just ahead of it. Because I hate like being right on it one tick and it comes down, misses me by a freaking tick and then goes crazy. Makes me nuts.
It's the fill. It's the touch no fill on the target. That's the real.
And look at VWAP, hold its ground. But look where we are guys. Look where we are inside this set of bands.
Yeah, there's
what happens.
Interestingly, the tick index up tick down tick is very negative on the ES. Now I don't know if I'm delayed there or
not. I don't show it on Tick Strike. Tick Strike's kind of
no. I mean the up down index. Do you have that on tick? I don't know if you could have that.
No.
Oh, you probably can. Yeah,
you can. But right now I'm running just the NQ and ES, but I don't show any activity on ES whatsoever. And there's an example, guys, right there. I still just based on this information alone, would not have taken that long. I just can't force myself to do it. And as risky.
You don't want to take a trade. It's hindsight, right? You're like, oh god, I should have,
Exactly.
woulda, coulda, right? You know, it's like, hey, if it didn't meet my criteria, okay, big
That's
BFD, right? There'll be another one coming.
Yep, got to move on. And guess what? It's 10:55. I mean, like there is an awful lot. I mean, I made more headway yesterday, I think, after maybe 3 o'clock than I did the rest of the day, which is for me kind of odd, to be honest. But obviously there was a wicked buy program. I did not get into that. It was so slow moving and it just terrified me. I just waited for pullbacks and I slammed out a couple of 20 handle trades, and that was the end of it.
Well, you're right back to halfway on the 15-minute in the NQ. Low to high, right? So it's coming back. So you're at the 15. You got pre-market mid, right? So it's coming right there. You're coming into, there's an order block just above that, right? So you got actually a fairly big order block with a fair value gap underneath it, and you're at the 50. You got the pre-mid. You got plenty of things there. But you're out of sync, right? 4 hour and it still needs to come lower, and the 15 is, we still don't have a bearish break of structure.
And look, just in short-term indications, we have some wicks at the a +2 ATR on the boss. I don't know about, and of course a measured move that got hit. Yeah. Just freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. It is a
dude. I can't thank you enough for that indicator. You and Erwin. That's
you got to read Halsey's book, right? And then of course, I don't trade it exactly the way he does, but the basic foundation of it is the same.
So here we are, 10:57, approaching that 11 o'clock hour. We're seeing it firsthand. Even though this is a weird week to make any kind of inferences as to how things behave long term, but right around 11 o'clock, this particular trade plan, not Sam's version, like using the 1 minus 1 ATR the way you use it, but mine, for as a momentum based directional trader, this is where the heat comes off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the momentum, right? The morning mojo is over, or maybe it starts up in the afternoon.
Yeah. Sometimes on the way to the European close, which I think happened yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Usually, once Europe closes, it slows down. Not always, but dramatically. I think this is all just set up, right?
Yep.
But we're going higher, right? It's just they can't make it easy. So we got Fed tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. Yeah, we got Fed tomorrow. What do we got? We got PPI. We got Fed funds at 2. Crude. We got a lot tomorrow. Jesus Christ.
I love those days.
That's not a great. You got crude inventories. You got PPI. You got a Fed. That's not a. I would be trading micros tomorrow.
Oh shit! Depending on the contract balance or imbalance, for expiration, I may go in there and just hammer out some scalps. A lot of times, like I'd rather scalp minutes. I love scalping minutes, but as far as trading, the early morning stuff, no way. Especially this week. Yeah, she's taking some supply and then bringing it down. I'd love to see that hit that McGinley. Oh yeah. Yep. The boss still long. McGinley still green. That level right there. 15037. Tick chart. I'm going to remove some noise here and get a look at price action. There we go. Well, McGinley's holding and holding strong. We're at the midline of the scalper bands, and VWAP calling the shots at this point. I think everybody's just feeling exactly the same way we do right now. It's like, no, maybe later. Pulling back down to here. I got to really, really decide ahead of time if I'm looking at 040 for entry. Would I? Man, just below it, all that demand. Renko's telling the story right now on that pullback. 043. Oh, 3.8 would be optimum. Considering these, let's say price did come on down and call my bluff. You going to get in or not? Footprint data is super important because you get to look under the hood. You basically looking at it like that, although that's kind of scrunched up. It'd be more like this. And look at the cumulative delta here. Yikes. Commitment of traders, of course, came up a couple times, but not substantially. And here we go. A little bit alongside push. Green delta.
Now, is there something different about that monitor that's set up? Because and I know I get the best look at it. That's pretty blurry. Is that exactly the same as the other one?
Identical.
Weird.
That's the same monitor as this guy right here. I'm just using tab view, Sam, so it all goes on one.
Yeah, screen. I know. I would. Erwin and Simon and I it's still problematic for the viewer, so we got to get this sorted out. I don't think it's Restream because Erwin and I have used it and it's fine. So it's something. It's because it looked good when we did the little preliminary look at it before we went live, but they're both saying it's bad and it's not. It's not as bad as it was. But when you switch screens, it takes like 10 seconds before it clears up.
That's actually all one. I get what you mean when I change tabs. That's all one screen there.
Yeah. I mean, change tabs.
Yep. So there we are on the McGinley's green, and beginning to enter a chop zone. I don't really factor this in hard in terms of, geez, don't trade, that kind of thing, because I'm really working on the +1, -1 ATR, and I can see the -1 is still green, so I might shift over to Renko and see if I get a long entry. If I do, I might take that for a very quick scalp to the upside. But let's see what the ticks show. Yeah, we're cruising right into demand. Internal low at 031. And Stoke, good old-fashioned stochastic, pointed straight down. Technology's so weird, especially live stream. It's does this Sam, does this particular layout look good?
That looks better. When you go to the footprint, right, and there's so much detail, then it gets pretty gnarly. Like even I'm looking at it in Restream, it's not good.
Oh man.
But we'll get. It's frustrating, right? These shouldn't be this hard. It's something in the resolution settings on your end. We'll do a little test run here because we're going to wrap up in 25 minutes. Okay. We'll kill it at 11:30, and then we'll get Erwin on to see if we can sort out what it is.
Okay. They're both
Erwin, right?
They're both 1920 by 1080. I know that, and there is no zoom involved whatsoever. So they're at 120 hertz refresh rate.
Yeah, so they can go higher than that, can't they?
Negative.
No, okay. Then I got to check, right? That the NQ that was just shy of a golden zone, came right into a fair value gap there. If you over on your tick chart, nice little entry there. It's not.
Oh yeah,
completely out.
I'm so glad I was all over that.
Yeah, I took it. I'm back. I think I'm even now at the time. Yeah, I just got my first 3 out. It's a good little trade. That's probably a C note. So that's a 4 lot. That was pretty good, actually.
Watching footprints. Surging delta, 42% delta increase with 105 commitment of traders. This, even though it's not perfect, this might make a few handles right here. We're at VWAP. I got resistance twice. Previous high. Can't do it. Momentum based day, I'm taking that. I mean, it's, lost the footprint candle that had the data in it I needed. That would have been, I know you guys can't see this probably, but in here, I had an opportunity right there where commitment of traders went way up and delta went way up, but it went away. So
How much? 47.
The
Okay,
boss.
I'm getting closer to being back in sync.
How's your trade book?
The one I'm in, I've still got I'm 3 are out. I got a runner.
Nice.
Just going for that high, that last high. The pre-market, there's a low volume node right up there. And you see over, if you look over to the left, right, there's an order block up there.
On tick chart, I would imagine.
Yeah, right. So now see, yours is, I've got 45.50. Okay, so we're in sync. Okay.
Yep, 46 and a half, 47.
47.50. Yeah, I'm caught up. God,
you're
damn.
good.
Yeah,
awesome. Just a lot of stuff up here to grab.
Yeah, that's pretty thick up there.
Yeah,
and of course a 50 and big golden zones up above it, right, from higher pivots.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right, never ignore those. Right,
No.
that's the time you'll long right into it and like, oh shit,
what was I thinking? Yeah.
you didn't look, right? You didn't look.
Look at this.
It's easy to do. You get caught up in the and you forget, right? There's always an algo on the other side. Well, now that just rolled over, so I've scratched the runner, but got 3 out.
And look at this. Trading to bounce off the McGinley. Still have some downside sell pressure there. Looking at the Renko. Yep. Verified. I think given the status of the week, we're probably not going to pound through these levels. I don't even have a positive momentum. There we go. That's a little better. The boss. This is negating an entry for me long, just so you guys know. It's a simple indicator. It says pedestrian as they get, and it's just honest. The only time you can't trust these guys is when you got a long standing trend, they get their face smashed in. Their face gets smashed up into the ceiling, and that's where it stands, so you can't really read it. And look at that.
Back to that 50.
Yeah. 2 resistance levels.
Well,
let's see if
really, this is pretty much down early, sweep out all the week longs.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if we're in new highs before the end of the day, right? It's all, I mean, the news was good to the market, right? So when it's going down, that's when the retail's like completely lost. They don't know what to do. So then they think, oh my God, I got to start shorting it. And now look at it. I mean, they just play them every day, every single day. They just get played, right? And if you don't recognize that, you're just getting played with them.
Took a break of structure. I did not get an audible on that for some reason, but break of structure there.
Just broke it.
Yep.
So that's good news, right? Because we know what to do next. So the prior break of structure, we had a retrace to the golden zone. Now we've got another break of structure. Gosh, I wonder if it'll retrace down to that area, right? Wouldn't that be nice? The market structure, I think, really helped, and the reason I've been harping on it lately is that conundrum we always have of like, well, fuck, do I take this one? Which golden zone do I take? The bull or the bear? Or how, so now you have something more mechanical to help with that decision-making process, so you know where your odds are, and you're still going to take plenty of stops, but it's just the reality of, okay, where am I in market structure, and that can really make a difference. So you've got kind of a mismatch. Now the 15-minute golden zone is going to be an interesting test, right? Because it's at an order block. It's filling. It just filled a fair value gap, right? So that's mitigated. But this is a pretty big order block up here, and the golden zone is close. Be interesting to see if they can get through that. So when you come up to something like that, that's when you go start looking at footprints, saying, okay, show me what you're going to do here. It's, boy, they're rip roaring on they're bringing it hard on the footprint. Now they just hit it. Let's go over to the order book. It's not a lot there.
Surprising. Looks like coming out of demand zone on the 5-minute.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there's the golden zone. You're seeing it, right? It's a little bit higher, but God, that's surprising. There's nothing in the not a lot of limit orders sitting next to it, as in nobody wants to be on the other side of that. That's a pretty good move. The extremely high probability that we get a reaction there. So for a scalper looking for 5 ticks, that's the kind of thing to look for. That's a major golden zone from the high. That's going to get a reaction. That will get a reaction. Maybe short-lived, but it'll get a reaction.
Back and forth, footprint to the boss, footprint to the boss. Footprints are outside of the top end of that range into resistance as we speak.
IB mid would be the textbook perfect entry. That would be right at the golden zone. NPOC, NVWAP, if it's offered down there. And there's an order block there.
Oof.
Here we come. Book is still wide open. It's wide open up to 85.
Really?
Yep. There's no big orders in the book right there. 85. Well, it's not huge, but you got 100. But they're being pulled, right? So this thing's they could bust this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could bust it, right? But what you're looking for divergence, right? Any sign of weakness. Right. And again, it would be you're very counter trend, right? So it'd be you're after a scalp. Oh, there's big size hitting now. Why, right? The size shows up as they get the golden zone because to get through that, you think we're the only people who know this, right? So
right,
that size they got to push through that. So there, you're hitting you're hitting the order block. They got big Momo there. Big size hitting. Yep, they're going to get right to it. If you were going to short it, it would be right now.
Yep.
Right now. 65, so 86 would be your stop.
I was going to say 92, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to give it more. Well, micros, yeah, but you can't, this kind of trades, you're looking for 5 ticks, not a micro trade. Micros, you're still waiting for a pullback. Big delta, right? They're going to 50. Yeah, they're through 2 and through, right? So there's the muscle, huge. Right? To break it, right? They got to do that to break it. Looks like they're going to 99 based on where the books are, where the limit orders are. So this is pretty much what, right? So the whole move down is what we call market manipulation.
Yep.
This was always the intent. Oh God, look at tick strike. Well, I have like 7 or 8 of them on. I have all the big tech names.
What's this?
They are just flying green.
Oops. Look at this, Sam.
Yeah, I know. It's
oh my God.
It was always the intention, right? They just had to clear out all the retail before. That's how they work it. It's not illegal. We're coming up to IB high here pretty quick in the ES. And Q's not too far away.
Because I got 130, 130-ish.
Retrace now would be, boy, if you could catch 60, 61-ish, right, would be ideal. That's where the Ginley sits.
Yep.
So if you look at a 15-minute, you can see they swept the lows. I know it's so it's annoying, but it's so easy after the fact, right? If you look at the 15-minute, you see they swept the lows down there at the pre-low they went and grabbed all that liquidity, right? You see the tweezer bottom. Well, you were just talking about the tweezer bottom down there, right? That's just a quick, right in your face stop run.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's so you can think about it, right? They need that liquidity, right? So they have to grab all that liquidity before they take it up, right? So that's what's happening there. Now, retrace still likely. Oh, man. Any retrace here is a gift. You may not get much. They're going for the IB now, ES. Okay. This would be a day to be careful with that trade.
Certainly.
Right. They got all the mojo up there.
And here we go.
There's this trade is getting front run now almost every day. Interesting, right? I think we've crowed about it a little too much. It was the best kept secret in trading. Now it's not so much anymore.
Secret's out.
Secret is out, right? Because this is a marked shift, right? Just even a year ago, we weren't seeing this kind of front run. Often by a tick or two. So if I see it, you can see in the footprint, often it'll look like it's gone through, but there was no trade there and the line will stay green.
Right.
Because we didn't have a trade on the other side of it. But this is actually the worst kind of scenario for that trade. You don't want it to leave a pivot up there four ticks from the IB, right? Because they can just blow right through that and use that. So you got to be a little bit careful. The best trade is when it comes at it for the first time. So they got pretty damn close. NQ has got a ways to go. So I actually here this retrace, if there's a order block. Here I've got the ES on. Yeah, there's opportunity here. NQ, see, I'm looking at 1350. I'd like to see a little bit more of a 3, like one more leg down would be perfect. You see all those lower highs, right? Now we're about to go higher high.
Yep. You bugger.
That could be it right there. Shit, I have to fucking test it first to see if I'm good.
God hates a coward.
Okay.
That entry, in case anybody wants to know, is based on the dual RSI on the bottom. We have momentum over the 0 line, and RSI was starting to get prints. So let's see how this pans out.
You're gonna have a double in the NQ here.
Yep.
You need muscle. Where are they?
They don't have long, I'll tell you that much.
There they are. There they come. They want to, right? The market always wants to go up, right? They've got a reason to go up. They swept all the retail out. We're likely going to new highs.
The problem is when I trade tight like this, if I want to tighten it up, sometimes you don't leave enough room,
As you say, right? It's you're a commission away from a re-entry.
That's it.
All right.
This interim footprint candle's good. Well, it was. Man, it's too twitchy. It's just too twitchy at this point.
you're a little far from the McGinley, right? That's
Yeah.
another thing to think of, right? When you get that far from it, right? Is like in our price action indicator, right? It'll light up the entries when you're at a trend line or at the McGinley for key entry points, right?
Yep.
You're kind of it's a little bit hopium up here, a little bit like, come on, it's going to keep going, right? When you know it's like probably a little stretched here.
Yeah, kill it. Yeah.
Probably a little stretched here. I like the retrace here. If we can come back to the pre-mid, that's just perfect.
That'd be a good one. You're talking about 062, 06150, Sam?
Yeah, right around there, right around that area. There, you got an imbalance there. You got a fair value gap, right? So you've got potential to backfill that. Well, the crowd has gone quiet.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're sitting back watching. I know they're making money is what they're doing. Yeah, we'll go till we got another 10 minutes. We'll go another 10 minutes. Right. It's good to keep this in a 2-hour window, right? So then it's easy to just keep going.
Yeah.
But you gotta, I do the same thing. I'm like, well, I could keep going. But better for us, I think, to keep it at a 2-hour, right? Especially if we're going to start doing these on a regular basis, which is, just so you guys know, that's what we're talking to Skeff about. See if we can do this, right? We might set up a membership type of room and see what the response looks like, right? If you guys like it.
Rest assured, on weeks that don't have a schedule like this one does, it's a heck of a lot more exciting.
Yeah, this is a very tough week. Very tough week.
This trade plan,
plenty of drama across the country.
Yeah, and there's that. This trade plan, just using the boss, if I use that screen alone, a typical day, even with news, like your normal, every average week, I'll nail at least out of this screen you're looking at right now, I'll take 30 handles, 30 full points daily, and generally that happens by 10. It is an amazing setup, provided you call the momentum correctly.
Here comes a little kick.
Yep.
Boom! There they go.
Good call, Sam.
Well, I just watching Bookmap, right? I saw the size come in. And then you see it on the footprint, right? And plus, they want the IB. So there's the ES going through, to and through. Went up right to it, blew through, which makes you think, right, likely the NQ goes with it. So very least reasonable target would be the IB here, which is what I've got a couple on. Going for the IB. Stop under the swing low.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we get there.
Cumulative delta on the footprint's good. We just got a big volume increase on this candle. Well,
pre-high looks like a good target here as well.
Wee bit of a pullback.
Well, there's the ES just came back. Interesting, right? So it got through. They're fucking with people. What we got through it by? We got through it by only 4 ticks. And then it reversed, right? So there's a perfect Madonna. Looked like it was going hard, right? But I've got the footprint on the NQ in front of me.
Yeah, look at that.
NQ is going with it. Now you've got a potential. Oh God, that's pretty interesting.
Look at that cumulative delta right there.
Yeah, I'm going to take that.
And it's on the bottom of the Keltner. I mean, that's saying, hey.
The tick is down at we're at minus 350 right now. So if we can hold here and start to come back around without breaking the low here,
right?
What have I got? I've got a 2,000 tick. Oh shit! I'm about to take that in the wrong account. Okay, hang on.
McGinley, roughly 15.086 ish.
Interesting. So it's definitely bull's ball on the retrace.
Sure.
Because they broke that 15-minute golden zone. Only internal market structure so far. No major change in trend direction. NQ back to the McGinley.
Yep.
All right. It's possible add. I'm going to add there.
Waiting on this is 1, 2. I need a third signal. Upside.
You could use that. Well, that's pretty actually. So now we're dealing with a micro golden zone. Those little fuckers, right?
Oh yeah, just spotted it. Yeah,
just on the right. Those little fuckers. God, they piss me off. There's no way around them, right? You just it's going to react there, but
right
hopefully
there.
you don't get the kickback.
That's the 103. And look at
they're little micros, but they're like fucking little bee stings, right? They're there. They're not going to kill you, but god damn it can wreck a trade.
And or put you through pain. And look where your calculation is on the Renko. Look at that. Look at the way it coincides.
I know.
Crazy.
ES is coming. Everybody's coming down. So where's the tick? We're still on the net. We didn't get a full loop there. We only got to the 0 line, got rejected. So they're selling stocks now.
And we're going into European close. So.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'd be surprised if we aren't putting in new highs by the end of the day.
Whole lot of optimism out there, Sam.
Oh, market always wants to go up. Always, 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 right? It's the inflated beach ball that you're trying to hold underwater.
Right.
If you just let it drift, it's going to drift higher, right? If it has a reason, you tie an anchor to it, bad report, down we go. Otherwise, it's going to keep drifting higher, right? It's good for business. It's what the market wants naturally. Always has a bias up. Oh, come on out of there.
I'm going to go check some time-based stuff.
Yeah, we got, we'll let this last. We'll look for the resolution here, and then we'll call it a day.
The 5-minute, if you have a quick glance at the 5-minute time-based chart, it's kind of overbought. We get a lot of wicks. It looks like it wants to roll over a little bit.
It does, right? That's it's good to come down to the 5 as well. It's kind of slow moving. I actually don't like trading the 5-minute.
These are more for just a visual thing.
Like some people, they swear, that's one of Erwin's favorites. He loves the 5-minute.
Well, he's a patient man. At least he appears to be.
I think it's too slow for me. And I can't see in it enough. I'll have it, but I'll always have a 1 minute or a tick next to it. Okay, so that's a perfect, literally to the tick retrace to the McGinley. Well, I'm on a 1350. It's right to it. A little order block and extended POC there. I see you've got reasons for that to hold there. It it hit that golden zone and turned. Actually, it was a little shy of it. Actually hit the 50. You're in a squeeze now.
And
here they come. Here they come. Here they come. That's a good looking candle right there. They're back to the open, and that same 50. There's that top candle is pretty ugly. But that is the weak high, right? So if you're just thinking, shit, okay, weak high, strong low, which one's more likely to break? Well, you'd expect the weak high to break. You're going to change the character, right? So the trend remains up. There's no reason not to be looking long. That doesn't mean we're going ripping through the high, but if you're just trying to be, a little bit more mechanical about it, that's a way you can do it.
Wonder if this has what it takes to build through this on the boss and give us a closed candle at +1 ATR.
The time of day is not great.
No, it's not. Yeah. And you got point of control on that particular chart, 15.098. So it's like, that's why all of these stopped right here.
So there's 11:30, right? There's Europe's close. Let's let this little swing here play itself out and see if we get a new high here or not, and then we'll call it a day. And
Okay.
we'll pencil in Thursday, and we'll see if we can get our technical issues sorted out. God, it's annoying. It's still going on.
I would think Thursday, obviously the September contract issue would have sorted itself out by then.
And we'll be through the Fed, right? So
yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's based, people are, regardless of the announcement, it's a Fed unlikely to raise rates any further and all that stuff. And maybe all that's baked in at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're likely going to pause. Well, that's certainly what the market's expecting. Market can get it wrong here. This kind of surprised me if we don't get a push here. We might not. We're still in it. We're in the
Check
squeeze.
out. This is something I just noticed, Sam. If you look at my screen, look at the +2 ATR. It's just refusing to show green. The one never even stopped. It was like, no, we're cool.
Yeah, this is a little congestion.
Go to the tick chart here.
Sideways, inside bars, right?
Yep.
So we just consolidate. It's a squeeze, right? Consolidation. From consolidation, what do we know comes, right?
Pop.
Expansion. We just don't know which way it's going to go, so you got to defer to. Okay, well, what color's the McGinley, or where are we? What's underneath? What's the tick doing, right? So that's all that decision making process. But I do know that the longer we sit going sideways, the more it's likely to drop. Right, gravity seems to take over.
Through the McGinley now, at least on the 987. Actually, it was a test. There you go, back above it.
Touching it. Let's see if we hold there.
Beautiful thing here is an entry here, if made, has a tight stop.
Oh yeah, you very tight, right? You can be very tight with this. So it's a very, very low risk entry, very low risk trade right there. Plus it's the internal low. Plus you got the ES is at the pre-high. You might have a little stop run there.
I was hoping to find something optimistic coming from the footprint data, but it's not happening yet.
It's not really helping.
Very low. If you look at the last, I don't know, I'm on 25 range, but if you look at the last 8, 9 footprint candles, no real increase in delta to report there. Everything's like under 5%. Commitment of traders stayed kind of bland. This might show some hope right here.
Here comes some size. They didn't get too far. A little better. Squeeze.
Love them when they fire.
Here, looking better. Oh Jesus, my fucking.
Nope.
Data's fucked up again. I gotta get out. I don't know what's going on. All right, my data just lagged again. I can tell it in the footprint because I just get zeros on both sides. God damn.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so I know my data just fucked up again.
But check this out, Sam. It might be for the best anyway. We just had a 15% positive delta with a red candle.
Ooh. Well, right. So you got a lot of stops sitting right there, right? If you're looking at the 1350, well, you'd see the same. So you got liquidity just was grabbed there. Now let's see how far they're going to come down. Same in the ES. ES is at the golden.
Lots of commitment of traders went way up in the last 2 candles on the 25 range on the NQ. And that's something.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So we're probably heading to the lunch hour. So we probably call it a day there. It's good. I think we're both had a good, decent. Other than I missed the first 2 of fucking hour and a half.
Oh, you would have slaughtered me. I'm green.
Got out with a green. Okay, so tentatively, let's talk about Thursday, and we'll reconvene, see if we can sort out some of these, whatever this issue is on your end. I'm fairly certain it's just something in settings, something we haven't spotted. 1080 should do it. Okay, guys, we'll wrap it. Let's see. Got that trade set up on 2K tick. Okay, good. Okay, so that sounds like relaxation. I'm also a Ninja Data. No, fuck. Maybe it's something in mine. Sounds like relaxation. Sounds like relaxation is telling me he's also using Ninja and not having trouble. So maybe it's something in my end. Okay, man, we'll call it a day there, and we'll catch you guys later. This is all recorded. We'll be on live stream. We'll be on Ninja for anyone who's interested. And Skeff, we'll talk to you. We'll have a little session here, see if we can sort out the technical issues.
Sure.
Okay, man. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, everybody.